Josh was going through every every tweet the guy's ever made, line by line. Oh shit, we only have 5 minutes. Fuck.
I was just gonna say Bill Twitter's a disaster.
Cool.
Dude, when he comes back on, I just say, "Hey, we're going to kick it off with a quick intro." And I got you.
Can you hear
us? All right. Excellent.
All right. Yeah. So we're just going to go ahead and roll right into it.
Let's roll.
I'm going to do the intro real quick. All right, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Culper's Canteen Cup. Thanks, Carlton Zeus, for the music. You can check out more Carlton's music at carltonzeus.com or Apple Music. Swing on by there and hit that subscribe button for Carlton. All right, everybody. Today we have an incredibly special guest. He absolutely did not look to see how many subscribers or followers we had. I think he may be like number 14 by this point. But we've got Kurt Schlichter, and I probably said that wrong. Kurt,
I apologize. Completely said it wrong. It's just Schlichter. Schlichter. So that's my North Florida public school education coming out in me. Well, it's hard to believe that your pronunciation of German isn't exactly perfect, but that's okay. They don't even get it right in Stuttgart. So anyway,
yeah. So we got Kurt on. He chat with us for a little bit, and Kurt, we have to know. We want to know. How in the hell, I know it's your hometown, it's your home state, but how do you live in California? How do you bear to live there being a conservative?
Oh, I live very well. I'm a lawyer. This place is made for lawyers.
That's in the curvy, man.
The whole, I live like a mile and a half from the beach. The whole place is designed so that people who drive BMWs and work in an office and never sweat can do just fine. It's a giant conspiracy against real people. I just happen to be a fake person. It's the other thing is I kind of grew up here and I've lived here for a long time and I'm not particularly into retreating. Though who knows? Maybe I'll end up in Florida somewhere. I like the humidity. My wife's Cuban. I want to carry a gun. Here's my favorite part. 2 deployments, battalion commander, deputy brigade commander, LA riots, commanded in the San Diego fires. Los Angeles doesn't think I'm capable of deciding whether I'm going to carry a handgun with me or not. So,
love it.
There's some like 28-year-old clerk on. I just don't think you cut it. I just don't think you understand the necessity of it. It's all right. Whatever. Kiss my ass. So welcome to LA.
Awesome. Well, Kurt, this is Roger again. Thanks for being on the show. The big news of the weekend was obviously President Trump, COVID-19, going to Walter Reed Hospital. If you listen to Jim Acosta, I'm not sure, you can't have it both ways. Either one, he's completely faking it, or two, he's about to die tomorrow because he went to Walter Reed. So
why not both?
I guess he can do both. You just run two
these days.
Well, look, if you know you're never going to be held accountable for the stupid shit you say, you can say anything. Yeah, I'm wearing a big freaking Indian hat. Like I'm an Apache. Say it. Do you like it? Oh, it looks great. Say the fuck. I can say anything. Put on a clown nose. Nobody will notice. Big floppy shoes. Dress in a slinky cocktail dress. Everyone's going, hey, you're looking good. Thank you. When you totally eliminate the norm of accountability for being a fucking idiot, you get a lot more fucking idiots. That's just how science works. And that's what they've done. Here's my theory. All these institutions we have, all the media and the NFL and the colleges, even the freaking military, all really became what they look like today in about 1945, 46, 50, round in there, a little earlier, maybe a little later. So they're all about 60, 70, 80 years old, right? They're all obsolete. They're all falling apart. And you got these people trying to hold them together with duct tape and spit. And it just doesn't work. So you get these media guys, instead of Edward R. Murrow, reporting on the Blitz from London, You get these 28-year-old Mongoloids who got a gender studies degree and one time visited New Orleans, so they know America. And you know, they're telling us how it is. And it's all fallen apart. And at the same time, it's all got to change just because it's old. It's not meeting our needs anymore. And at the same time, it's got to change. We have the worst elite, the worst ruling class we've ever had. So it's like, look, when I was in before I retired in 2015, my thing was I was the fireman. The general would always go, "Hey, Schlichter, go fix, 1st Battalion or whatever." It'd be fucked up. I'd go fix it. And I loved doing it. That was a lot of fun. But, I was good at it. See, they would pick me because I was good at it. Instead, imagine picking the guy that you wouldn't trust to be in charge of softball distribution and sending him to go do the hard job. And that's what we've done. Who runs the NFL? But I look at this guy, fucking incompetent. No, he's in charge of it. We're gonna put our faith in him, and we're gonna have him shepherd us through these important changing tides. Oh, good plan. So, anyway, now you got me on a rant.
Well, do you think he actually pulls out some type of bump from having COVID and going to, as far as in the polls, for as reliable as they are? Because initially, when he went to Walter Reed, I'm like, he's going to come out as Superman, and he's going to get a bump in the polls. Do you see more support, maybe some sympathizers out there for him?
I don't know. I think a lot of it's baked in. I think the media did everything it could to make the fact that he didn't die the latest of the worst things ever. And I'm not sure that these guys really understand what a bad thing is. When they tried to sell us that you should hate the president because he banged Playboy Playmates, I'm not sure these guys get out a lot. It's like, huh. You got I don't know how many people are undecided either. I always see the people who are, I'm an undecided voter. Really?
Yeah.
Still? You can't call it after the last 5 years. You're not ready to take a stand. Okay. And these are always the guys who get to ask questions at the town hall. Why do you find the stupidest person on earth to ask the question at the town hall? Who's a real dummy who doesn't have an opinion by now? Who's dumb? You with your finger in your nose. Come here. Come here. I want you to ask something about the deficit. Fucking idiot. Yeah, I don't know. I think a lot of it, and I do think there's a lot of silent Trump supporters. I do think there are a lot of people who just don't answer polls. I don't think the poll distributions are very good, and I think the polls track record are very crappy. But the only indicator I see of all the indicators out there, the only indicator I see that Biden is ahead is the polls. And normally that would be like a really good thing to be ahead in. If you're going to choose one factor, you'd want the polls. I just don't believe him. If you got the media saying he's Mussolini because he like went up to a balcony and waved. I mean, who does that but Mussolini, right? Oh, wait, I'm literally on a balcony right here.
Well,
start calling me Il Duce.
Trump bad. Mussolini bad. Trump is Mussolini. Exactly. Well, I mean, that's basic math. But no, I just if they'll lie about everything, why is it they're going to draw the line at the polls? Yeah, I mean, we'll lie about COVID. We'll tell you some complete bullshit, but I'm not going to mess with the polls. That's a bridge too far. I got my boundaries. Have you ever been polled?
No, I just don't see it.
Polled.
Oh, for now, I thought you were talking about my stripper club.
No,
days.
Well, I know we all know that one. You were set.
No, I of course never went to those. Conservatives wear bow ties and don't go to clubs like that ever. No. I think I've gotten calls where they tried to poll me, and I'd say something like, "Why am I going to dedicate valuable time? I can be billing clients
or writing something or rubbing my balls and waste it on you. Why would I do any of those? Why would I do that? No, click. And I speak to a lot of folks. I'll go out and do little speaking gigs because, if you're a cavalry officer or a trial lawyer and there's a microphone, you're going to immediately vector in on it. And I ask them that same question. I mean, that's a great question. And you guys been polled, and it's like, you get one or two. It's just, I don't know why they don't seem to call us. Statistically,
we're usually working,
shouldn't
so
they?
we're not around.
Happen by now.
I would think. Well, that's a good point. I got this thing. It's called a job. I'm not at home watching the Barnes and Cedillo and Barnes. Did you fall and scrape your knee ads? I'm trying to make some. I'm trying to bring some loot home. But yeah, I just don't buy it. And here's the other factor. Okay, you look at it was a CNN poll, and of course CNN. It says Trump is behind 16 points. Okay, even in the popular vote, Hillary was ahead 2 points. So we've had a 14-point percentage, that is 14 percentage point movement from last time. Do you know anyone who has moved from Trump in 2016 to the Democrats this time? Because you should see if that's true, between 20-25% of the people who support Trump, just statistically, should have made that move. And you'd have probably heard about it. And I keep asking this question. Look, I'm still an Army guy. I still want to know the truth, the ground truth about the enemy. So I'm not looking to shade the facts. I'm trying to find someone who has. I have found 0 people who have told me, yes, Kurt, I voted for Trump last time, but I'm going to vote for that desiccated old weirdo this time. I mean, 0. I don't mean 1 or 2. I mean, Dr. Evil, zip, nada, zilt,
Yep.
None.
Me neither.
And that doesn't fit. That doesn't work. I'm in California. If anywhere you'd find a bunch of sissies without the backbone to stand up like men and support Donald Trump, it would be right here. This is ground zero for low T, and I haven't seen it.
So, I mean, what do you think? I mean, okay, so I'm gonna give you some credit real quick because I tried to steal something from you. I tried to plagiarize a little bit on this podcast.
Good.
The 21 biggest
Excellent.
lies about Donald Trump.
It's not plagiarizing. It's a tribute.
Yeah, I'm attributing this to you, and I can't remember which chapter where Trump is Hitler, and you did the whole math thing, and I said that about Mussolini, so that's yours. And my favorite chapter so far, and you made some really good points. Is he's a warmonger, the lie. Trump's a warmonger, and so are you. Loved it. And I'll tell you this, I got to plug this because Roger and Josh like to talk a lot. I've got to sneak this in there. I had no idea that Ambassador Grinnell, number one, you knew him because, man, that guy, I admire the hell out of that guy. And number two, you shop. You run into him at the grocery store, man. Dude, that is completely...
Let me tell you some Rick Grinnell stories because he lives in the South Bay area of Los Angeles, which is beach cities south of the thing. So I've been like in a movie theater, okay, and it's not like it's not like a Kate Hudson romantic comedy with Owen Wilson, all right. Where I walk in and Grinnell's in there in the Winston Churchill movie, right? And I walk in with my wife. He's in there with 13 strong or 12 strong, whichever strong it was. Okay. These are like fucking movies we would see. It did. I bet I probably went to a different screening of the Benghazi movie. Okay. But those are the movies I see Rick with. He is absolutely sincere. I remember I'm talking to him. We're having dinner. My wife's there. He's with Matt, and I'm talking to him. And he's about to go to Germany. He's like, Kurt, tell me what I should look at when I go to a NATO base. It's like I know politicians. They don't ask me that question. Well, I'm like, okay, first of all, don't talk to the freaking general. Find the command sergeant major. Go down. Say you want to talk to, you want to talk. You want to go in the motor pool. You want to talk. I mean, I'm telling him, here's where you go to find out what people really think. Not the fucking dog and pony show. Not the one I'd have my staff set up for you. The one where you're going to start, are the guys getting what they need? Are they being taken care of? Are they combat effective? Because you know there's that one specialist who just totally wants to spill how none of your fucking vehicles will turn over. Okay, which literally happened to me the first time I took over my first platoon. And it's, oh, sir, none of these work. And the platoon sergeant's like, because the company commander's walking by. No, I mean, but he listened. He listened, and he is absolutely genuine. I've got a pretty well-developed bullshit detector. Rick's my guy. Rick's going to be my guy in 2024, 2028. And I think the reason so many military guys like him is, you know, we're used to smelling out bullshit. We know who's full of shit. It takes us about 2 minutes to size somebody up. You got somebody squared away, somebody who's trying real hard, or someone who's a fucking blue falcon. You can, the first one's great. You work with the second, third.
And the Germans did not know how to handle
get rid of them somehow.
At all. Blew their minds.
Oh God, no. Oh God. He completely. That's why I think he's Trump's heir, not because he's anything like Trump. I mean, he's very smooth. He's suave. He spent time at Harvard. He can wear nice suits. Although he comes out wearing cargo pants like a hobo like me when we'll go out to dinner or something. But he knows how to communicate, and he doesn't give a fuck. I mean, he's got none left to give. He has abandoned his fucks. He will say it. He knows how to communicate. He knows how to do social media. He is out there right now supporting. And this is not something he told me. This is something I've observed. He's out there supporting a bunch of congressional candidates and building up IOUs. And we're going to see great things from him. And I'm behind him 100%.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. We've been big followers of Rich for a while, and. You know, you're absolutely right. I don't want just give us the bad news. If it's bad news, give us the bad news. That's fine. We'll deal with it. It's don't bullshit us. And
exactly. I want the straight story because I can't do anything. Look, when people start telling me good shit, I get nervous because there's nothing for me.
You must
to
have
do.
loved the Clinton years.
I can't. I don't necessarily believe it. But what am I going to do if you tell me, hey, Kurt, this is screwed up? Well, I can take action.
Exactly.
To fix that. I can factor in some support, and we can get that done. If you're just shining me on, that's a problem.
No, it's like when my wife gets ready to tell me a problem, she's like, okay, I have a problem. I'm like, okay, is this a listening problem or is this a you need me to fix it problem? Because I saw problems.
Yeah, just tell me what you want me to do here.
And, no, absolutely.
Exactly. Exactly. We all see we're all kind of weird in this culture because our culture did not come up this way. The folks who didn't have the life experiences we do, they look at you funny when you tell them to do something that's hard, and they'll be like, but that sounds really hard. I'm like, yeah. Okay. Do you think that's a surprise to me? Oh, you want me to take some action? You'd rather me do it. I get it.
Yeah.
Oh, that's my favorite when it comes to people I'm paying.
Yeah, no, for sure. I was reading your latest article on Town Hall. It was dangerous words by stupid people. What is it going to take for people to wake up and realize that the majority of the people around them are going to willingly put them on a train? Like, what is it going to take for the American public to wake up and realize that we are headed down a very dangerous path?
I liken it to a jerk in a bar who goes up to somebody and starts hassling them, and the guy at the bar is going, look, I'm just trying to have a drink. Just let me Be cool. Just leave me alone. And the dude doesn't stop. He's like, dude, you need to stop. And then eventually he goes, okay, gets up and lays him out. And remember, even in the Revolutionary War, there were only about 5-10% of people who were really committed to things. It is a small group that makes the big changes. And a lot of people, and I wrote about it today in my town hall, it's coming out Thursday. It's about fear. And the big fear everyone has is losing what they have, losing their life to COVID, losing their property, position, prestige, their career. If I do this, I lose everything. The problem is the left is premised on taking all these things from you. They want to take your family and take your faith and take your property and take your power. And then when you've taken all that, you have somebody who has nothing left to lose, and suddenly he becomes unbelievably dangerous. The guys you do not want are the guys with their, their backs to the wall. Look at Rourke's Drift during the Zulu War. 140 guys against 4,000 highly trained, absolutely brave and skilled Zulu warriors. And they won because their back was against the wall and they had none to lose. There was no retreating. They put everything into what they had. So what the left is creating by doing what it's doing, it's actually making a much more effective opposition. And I think eventually a small group will lead in the pushback. And I think it's going to be, and we've already seen it in 2016. The pushback was partly Donald Trump. And we're going to see more of that. We're going to see more resistance to these kind of cultural currents. And I'm not talking about a civil war. I'm talking about a cultural fight where people finally say, well, I may get canceled, but I'm gonna run for city council and I'm gonna take a seat. I'm going to put a Trump sign in my yard. I'm going to go out and be part. I'm going to go out and register voters. If you get people mad enough, leaders will emerge and people will follow. Although I think it'll be highly decentralized. You'll have small group leaders, and I think that's. Just
I think you broke Josh's heart because he's prepped for the next Civil War. I actually had another question for you as far as the debate, but something else.
Hey man, I'm ready for whatever.
So whether President Trump wins or loses this next election, what does the Conservative Party look like? They're next, because I look across the field, and back in the day, you had the Jeb Bushes and you had Kasich. But when you look at the next 4-8 years, what does that look like as far as a Republican candidate? I mean, how do you follow after President Trump?
Well, that I think Rick Grinnell is the individual who's got those skills, but everyone's got to learn the basic skills that make Donald Trump different. The first skill is to understand that if you're a Republican, you cannot be the party of the elite. You cannot be the party of the guys who look down on everyone else, the party of the people with a lot of letters after their name representing degrees that, of course, don't make much difference. You've got to be the party of the people who want to take care of their families, who just want to work, who want to be left alone, who do not want somebody pounding on their door to get their, home-built AR-15. You need to be proud of these people, and you should be proud of these people. These people built this country. They feed it, they fuel it, they defend it. These are the heart and soul of America. And there was a time where our elite at least admitted that to itself. And now we have an elite that's so ineffective and so, frankly, they're the trust fund kids of a culture they didn't build and a society they didn't create or do anything to bring to fruition. And all they have is contempt. They have contempt, and it's really contempt for themselves because they know they're nothing. They know they're unworthy. That's why they demand obedience. I never followed a leader who told me, you do what I say, I've got a silver oak leaf or an eagle. The guys I followed didn't fucking have to say it.
Yep.
They were guys I wanted to follow. And those are the guys I always tried to be like. I don't know if I hope I did. But our culture is the guy who never should have freaking got past major, who now has a brigade, and now he's really excited because he's a brigade commander, and that's our entire culture. Not the guy who's really excited because now he's going to get to build the organization and make it run and make it hum. No, he's the guy who's excited because he's the battalion commander.
Man, that guy. Oh man.
Yeah, it's our, and that's our whole
that. Yeah, now you got to frustrate me. You got to frustrate me, bring me down like that. You know, well, I remember driving to the polls in the last election. It was the primary, with no idea who I was going to vote for, and I was listening to the radio, some program, and I just eventually had it. I had it. I wasn't sold on Trump. I got to give Roger that one. Roger was on the Trump train real early. And on the way to the primary, I was like, fuck all them. Fuck the system. I'm voting for Trump. And that's it. But, you know, fast forward, I agree with you. You know, kind of along the same lines as the media. I think it's going to be the smaller outlets that kind of start to take over when people have just had enough. But speaking of just having enough, I want to ask you this because, you know, I can't go through your thousands and thousands of tweets. The great Brian Stelter, right? Could you explain to our audience why exactly he's a potato? Why exactly? Because people want to know, Kurt. You're going to get a whole 13 to 15 followers out of this, and they're going to want.
All I could say is just.
I figured it was something simple like that.
Motherfucker. I mean, holy shit! If you put a couple toothpicks in him, plunk his lower half in water, he's going to start sprouting roots. The only good thing about him is if you stick him in a pressure cooker, you might be able to make vodka.
What's that?
I mean, exactly. He's just a guy. He's just everything that's wrong. You know, I got kicked off of CNN. I got in a fight with Don Lemon.
Did you?
Yeah, I was their go-to because I wasn't pro Trump. Yeah, I was. I went on CNN a lot, and twice a week. It was a pain in the ass because it's up in Hollywood, and that's like an hour and a half each way in traffic. You can only make so many client phone calls. So I was a conservative. I was not a Trump supporter. I was a Cruz supporter. I was never Jeb, but I was never Trump. I was always, well, I'll vote for Trump or I'll vote for her, but I'll never vote for, I never vote for Jeb, never vote for her. And I'm on one day, it was December 22nd, 2015, and I had been hearing a lot of grief about Trump, and there were a couple of things about Trump I liked. He was saying things that no one else would say. Illegal aliens, China. I thought, yeah, that's good stuff. Why isn't anyone else saying it? And then Don Lemon has me on, and I'm actually on like a Zoom or something, Skype, and he says, Kurt, today Donald Trump said that Hillary had got schlonged in the primary by the last time. I mean, that's the worst thing that could possibly happen. And I kind of went, my spirit broke. And I just said, I don't care. And he's like, what? I said, I don't care. I can't summon up even the hint of a give a damn about that. I mean, I just don't care. Especially, saying schlonged. This is a woman who, covered up for her husband, allowing him, making his intern into a humidor. And of course, it all went downhill from there. He cut my bike and threw me off. I never got back on. Even though every time I did, I was freaking viral because I'm hysterically funny, if I say so myself, which I do. But CNN and the media does not want conservatives who can hold their own, conservatives who won't back down, and especially conservatives who can create an argument and take it, roll it up real tight, and make it into a flaming suppository for the liberals. They just hate that. So, of course, that's a lot, not all of them, but a lot of the quote-unquote conservatives you see on there, they're either the Ahoy Cruz crowd or a bunch of babbling half-wits
who couldn't put a sentence together with help from an English teacher.
That's actually pretty funny because I was just having that conversation earlier today, and obviously, Fox has got its own biases, but at least they bring on some hardcore liberals. I mean, they bring some folks on that are staunch supporters of the left.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I got no problem with that. And there are some liberals who are interesting. They don't have the interesting ones. The interesting ones give you an insight into how they think things are going, what the strategy is going to be. Instead, we get these guys going, Donald Trump is literally Hitler because Hitler also breathed in oxygen. See the parallels? It's like, can you find, I can't find somebody who's going to tell me something interesting.
So we all saw the first debate.
Shit.
I listened to your podcast. I think you were driving in your car when you were kind of recapping the first debate, but we've got the VP debate coming up and then the next presidential debate. So thoughts, opinions on, does this continue to be a train wreck, or do you think maybe Donald Trump gets a little more focused? Because the one critique I had, Biden was drowning. I mean, without Chris Wallace, being the life raft out there were times where Biden was drowning. And sometimes I thought, I'm like, just let the man speak and he's going to hang himself.
Yeah, except when he did speak, he didn't hang himself. And he did, he was coherent. Nobody's saying he won. A lot of people are having some trouble with Trump. I married into a Cuban family, so all the yelling and interrupting didn't bother me. I'm used to it. I mean, I don't think Trump put him away, but I don't think Trump did awfully. I don't think he got it. Interestingly, if you look at like the Telemundo poll, he did really well. So I think a lot of what Trump was doing was not aimed at the people who've already decided, but at people who aren't, traditional voters, and at people who are not so concerned that there's yelling and screaming. I don't think there'll be next time. I'm not sure there are going to be anymore, frankly. I think Biden might just say, well, you're just going to infect me with your plague. I do think the VP debate could be interesting. Pence is a very calm voice of reason, and Kamala Harris is shrill and hateful. So there's that. We'll see. I don't know. I generally think Trump is more likely to win based on what I see enthusiasm-wise, and knowing that Biden's support is it's uneven. There's a ton of it in New York City with millions of extra people, ton of it in Los Angeles with millions of people. And that kind of distorts things. Those are also, the urban people are also the easiest to communicate with for polls.
Yep.
Because how many farmers are going to stop the combine to take the no ID call on their cell, right? Oh, shit, hold on. Wonder who this is. Yeah, okay. And the guy is like watching Maury Povich. I guess Maury Povich is still on, maybe. He's got nothing better to call. Great, yeah.
Talk to, man. After watching that all day.
So, yeah, somebody to talk to. Will you be my friend?
I'll tell you what, man.
Yeah,
it's going to be a fun one. I hope that this is spirits us down for like the past couple of weeks about this. He's just been, Trump, he's a voice of doom and gloom over there. And I hope your words have picked him up a little bit. But folks. Well,
look, I want us to fight like we're behind. I want us to fight like we're losing. The enemy's information operation is to demoralize. There's nothing you can do. It's all done. It's over. It's finished. And nothing is fished. I read and, actually mostly listen to, because I'm usually out walking, a lot of military history. And, the thing that always strikes me is the sheer number of battles where the guy who should have lost won. The side that you would think, you look at the array of forces and you're thinking, okay, these guys should win, and then they end up losing. It happens
That'll-
a lot, and there are a lot of other factors involved, morale being a huge one. I don't think there are any Trump voters who will not willing to low crawl over broken Michelob bottles to go vote for the president. I don't know if the welfare cheats, losers, and deadbeats who make up an important part of the Joe Biden constituency will rise from the couch in their Section 8 apartment to go and vote. I just don't know. Now, all the wine women will, the woke wine women, they all will. And their husbands will probably go, yes, dear, I'm going to vote for Biden, and then vote for Trump, because that's like the closest to rebellion they can
As long as they're all wearing their masks when they vote, right, Kurt? Even by mail, you should be wearing your mask.
Yeah.
Good Lord.
Yeah, wear your mask all the time.
So-
it's magical. Oh, I had here was my favorite. You guys are gonna love this. Somebody was some dipshit was talking about masks, and I said, the Army made me go in protective gear and flex around with VX, and I bitch less than these sissies do. Like VX, okay? It's the exact opposite of 99.5% of what people walk away. The exact opposite. And the person goes, well, I bet you didn't have valves on your mask. And of course, they show a picture of Trump with his little N95 with a valve. I'm like, yes,
And a drinking
That's
tube.
true. That thread, I was hoping that would come up, because that thread was truly indicative of the types of great minds that are on Twitter, man, talking about VX. They were trying to school you on that. And I just can't.
Oh, yeah, I was getting VX lessons. Now, what these guys don't know is that I was like the honor grad of chemical warfare school. I know a little about biological and chemical weapons. Not a lot. I know a little bit. But yeah, that's the great thing about Twitter. Everybody's a fucking expert. All right. They get a master's of Marxist puppetry, and they're ready to sound off on military strategy, what it takes to run a business, kissing girls, all these things they have no experience with. And it's that. Where else can I go? With my resume, which is frankly impressive as hell, and really get taught by the true SMEs, the 23-year-old with a gumbo state degree, who's going to tell me how it fucking is. Thank you, Twitter.
Well, I'll tell you what, folks. Kurt has to go out and actually make some money. We're not going to tell you what he's going to do, but it's dirty. It is dirty, not in the way you're thinking. But hey, Kurt, now get ready. We're gonna make you some more money. Check this out, man. Your Amazon author page sales are gonna go through the roof. Now check it. So Kurt writes books.
I hope so.
And he writes a ton of them. And like I said, I'm a little ways into the 21 biggest lies about Donald Trump and you, and I'm telling you, it's good stuff. And if you like his humor, with that that really wakes you up, check out that book. He's got a bunch of others too, right? He's written fiction. It's the Kelly Turnbull series. I'll probably pick up People's Republic next.
Right, book 5.
Okay, yeah.
Right now, as we speak, I'm about 2/3 done with the last one. I have a long scene that's a tribute to Zulu.
Okay,
so that'll be yeah. I know my audience.
Well, that's why I'm looking forward to reading. They're real easy reads, folks. And Kurt, we're real honored you came on the show. When you folks head over to Amazon.
Oh, God, man, honored, man. Thank you for having me.
You've had a great career.
If you want me back,
man,
let me know.
We'll take you up on that. Love your thoughts. Want to keep following you, and we really appreciate it. Thanks for taking the time out to talk to us. And folks, with that, we're going to wrap it up. Thanks to Carlton Zeus and for that intro music. And we'll catch you next time. Till then, keep Canteen cups secured and tightly fastened.